Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I'm here to give you the best 10 tips from Cancun. We took all the videos we have done about Cancun and put together 10 tips that will really make a difference in your trip. It will be a complete video, very nice, with all the tips and step-by-step instructions for you to plan the entire trip. They're gonna be quick and easy, so give the like on the video, subscribe to our channel, that really help us a lot, and buckle up. Well, Cancun is an amazing place. It's one of the destinations we like the most in the world, both for its natural beauty, the animation, the excitement of the Mexicans, the parties and the music. Anyway, it's a very nice combination that meets all people's tastes, for family, for honeymoon, to go single, for a bachelor party. Cancun has everything, and it is an amazing place. Here we have gathered the 10 best tips for you to travel there knowing everything, so we divide it in 2 parts. There are 5 tips for where to stay, how to tip, because it's very important there, it's really cool to know that. There's the tip about the dollar or the peso, which is the best to use, the question of the all-inclusive, is it worth it to get a resort or not. These are little more specific and strategic tips for you to set up your trip. And the last 5 tips, which are the tour tips, that are amazing tours that you cannot miss while you're in Cancun, and with all the tips already built in. How much does each one cost, how long does it take, how to do it. In short, this is going to be a complete video. First tip, what we think is really nice is the place you stay. This will greatly influence your trip, especially in Cancun. For those who do not know, Cancun has the so-called hotel zone. It's a coast on the beach with the shape of a 7, as you can see on the map. There is the place that concentrates most of the famous tourist hotels of Cancun. It's the area that we recommend because it's close to everything. You're close to the most famous tourist spots and even the most different tourist spots. You can access everything easier from there. The location is easier, the main malls are there for you to shop, and there are many cool things there. There's the central part that is cheaper, of course, but we think it's not worth it. For the experience to be really cool, we recommend the hotel area. It's the main one, and you can get there very quickly, both taxis and buses that go directly there. Taking this straight line that you will see from the hotel zone, it passes through all the hotels there, forming this 7 and 7 a little upwards. So it doesn't matter what mean of transportation you choose, it's very close to everything, so you don't need to worry about getting your car or getting late to anything. The hotel zone, it's literally the best one. Another thing is the car rental. For those who do not know, car rental in Cancun is very cheap. I think it was the cheapest rental we purchased on a trip. It was really cheap. We ended up researching and it's still very cheap. So if you like to rent a car, our tip, rent it at the airport, because many smaller rental companies do several promotions. You see it there, you will search on the internet and you will find them, but they are not so reliable. We heard reports of problems there, so the rental companies are more reliable at the airport. So if you rent there and go to your hotel, you will save on a stretch that you would pay for a taxi or Uber, which would already equal almost 20% of the car rental price. So it's worth renting a car, even if you're not going to use it much. The hotels have parking so that you can leave the car there. You will use it to do many things. The day you're going to take a tour of the agency, you will not use it. Anyway, it's worth it for the price because it's very cheap and ends up being a shorthand to go back to the airport and do other things during the trip. And to make things easier, there's also price comparison that I'll leave the link here in the video description together with the other links that I'll quote. It's a tool that compares all the rental companies. You put your date and it shows you the options in all existing rental companies at the airport. You already find the cheapest and the prices are unbeatable. Using the comparison tool, you save more. The second tip that we think is very cool avoids embarrassment. These are the tips, the so-called kickbacks. For those who don't know what we call tips in English, they call bribes in Spanish. There, they have a great habit of receiving tips or bribes for everything. In some countries, there is no such custom, only that they seen sometimes as a lack of respect because it's a cultural aspect of theirs. So in all restaurants, when you take a taxi, when you see a waiter at the club, if you go to get a drink at the bar, it's their custom for you to tip them. There's no way out. Generally, it's around 18 to 20% in restaurants. When the service is good, people pay 20%. There's no much difference. People don't pay less than that. It is logical that it's not a law. You can give it or not. It's up to you. But we think it's cool if you are in another place to respect the culture and habits of that place. And in hotels, whether an all-inclusive or not, when the waiter brings you a drink, the waiter who is serving you, people usually give him $1 or $2 in the late afternoon. You will see that there are always people hating over the money there because it's very common. So remember, the tour guides, when you finish a tour, the guide that stayed with you all day, you see that the people who are leaving the bus, disembarking, they all deliver the tip as well. So set aside the money in advance for this because it's going to be part of your trip. Remember, every time you consume or have a service, it's common for you to tip the person $1 for waiters or 20%. And speaking of money, let's go to the third tip, which is the main question we get here for those who go to Cancun, which is, which currency should I use there, dollar or the Mexican peso? Both are accepted, most places accept both currencies. Our tip is, it's not so much the fact that one is worth it or not. You should always buy the product in the currency in which it is found. For example, you arrived at the store for $30, that product is written $30. Use the dollars, use your dollar bills or your dollar credit card. If it's written in pesos, pay in pesos. Why? Because it's not very worthwhile, because they do the conversions themselves. So for example, a taxi driver says it's 100 pesos one way. Then you say, can I pay in dollars? He answers, yes, but let me calculate here. He will do the conversion on the spot. People, stores, any business or restaurants will convert from peso to dollar, except that this conversion that they do is always worse than normal. Normally, it is 20 pesos for $1. In an experience we had, he ended up making us the price of 18 pesos for $1. So in total, you will end up paying a little more than if you were paying in dollars. I don't know if you understand, but in short, don't let them do the conversion. So take both Mexican pesos and dollars, so you can always pay the currency they charge. So if the bill is 100 pesos, pay with pesos, and pay in dollars if the bill is $100. So don't try to convert because it's going to be bad, because they convert it there and sometimes you end up paying more. Many people say to withdraw money there. Try to find some currency exchange there, which is a little cheaper. We didn't find it much cheaper. It was a very small difference and it was very uncomfortable to keep looking, even for security. We thought it was much better to exchange in our country and travel with the money. It was easier. We take part in cash and part in credit card, and international prepaid cards are also enabled, so it was easy. Everything you need, I'm going to put here the link on the description for you. You can just search the quote on the internet. If you like it, you can go and exchange the money. You can exchange in cash, in the currency you want, and on the international prepaid card, which is very cool to carry. They deliver it to your house. A carrier comes to you and delivers it to you without security problems, so it's very easy and very practical. And now let's talk about the all-inclusive, the fourth tip. Everyone is wondering if all-inclusive hotels is worth it or not. In Cancun, it's very common to see resort hotels, especially the biggest ones there, the 4- and 5-star hotels, to have the all-included system or all-inclusive. It has several names, each one calls it differently. What is that? You pay an extra amount for the stay at the hotel for the privilege of having everything included: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and food all day. There's usually a restaurant open with a buffet for you to eat throughout the day, like fruit and alcohol. You're at the pool, you have to call the waiter and ask. You do not pay for anything. In short, you will have food and drink included throughout your stay. So a lot of people ask, is it worth it to pay more? Sometimes they keep counting how much they would spend on food and how much they would pay for the all-inclusive hotel. In our opinion, we have already done many calculations and it turns out to be equal, so there are many personal options. In financial terms, to eat during the day there, to eat during the whole day, if you do not have all-inclusive, you will spend there between $20 to $26 plus drinks too. So you end up spending $26, depending on the day, around $35, and this is more or less the price you pay to have the all-inclusive. But the difference is, at all-inclusive, drinks and food are generally not so good. Usually they are buffets. They are excellent restaurants, of course, there's no comments, they're not bad, but they are not so prepared. For example, if you arrive at a restaurant and order a dish, pay for a dish, it comes more prepared, it's more elegant. The drinks are well made. The all-inclusive is more like a production line. It's delicious and we love it. We prefer the all-inclusive whenever we have to choose. We choose the all-inclusive system because we think it's cooler. But for those who are a little more demanding with the quality of the food, with tasting quality, brand and whatever, then maybe it's not worth the all-inclusive. It's worth it for you to pay for you separate food and ask for what you like. But in our opinion, the all-inclusive is very good because you end up having more freedom. You don't have to worry about paying for things. It creates the impression that you don't have to pay, so it's tastier. You stay by the pool and go to get drinks at will and eat at will. We think the experience is awesome. It's very nice for you to stay there and order things like you don't have to pay, but in the end you have. In the fifth tip, we'll talk about the amazing tours. I love the tips of the tours because they are beautiful. Then we'll give you the tips here on the tickets. What happens? You will have to do a lot of sightseeing in Cancun. Cancun is a place with a lot of sightseeing. We will talk about the top 5 even to help you get located and organize it properly. Only they all need tickets. So our tip, buy in our country first. It's cheaper. Do not buy in hotels. Every hotel will have a store, an agency that sells everything, but it's always more expensive because the traveler is already there and you have to buy. It's logical that they will charge more, and in your country it ends up being cheaper. So our tip is buy the tickets beforehand. Even if you're going to buy separate tickets, do everything yourself by car. Or if you're going to buy with an agency, we think the option is very good. We discovered an amazing agency. It ended up helping us with all the tours, so you buy beforehand, already booking everything. You pay cheaper and you will already have your trip planned. They have a specialized service and are prepared to assist you. They will help you organize your tours. We think it turned out to be a lot easier. And one other thing, you will not be waiting in line. There are many tours, Coco Bongo, the main nightclub, which we will also comment later here in the video. You take a long line and sometimes you still can't get a ticket to enter. If you buy the tour beforehand, the ticket for everything will be included. You end up getting their guarantee. You pass, you don't waste an hour in line, so there are several benefits in all tours for you if you buy the ticket beforehand. So buy early and don't leave it to buying there. And now for the tour tips, let's give you a tip of the 5 tours that we think are amazing. Well, Cancun is a place that has a lot of options for tours. It's one of the most difficult places to choose what to do there. So we will list here the 5 main tours that we think are the must-sees and that we like it to do the most. So come on, let's talk about the first tour that we think it's a must, which is Chichen Itza, one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. It's a very cool place to visit, a place that few people have this opportunity, so be sure to pay a visit. It's wonderful. It is very historical. The energy of the place is very cool. You can go there by car. It takes about 3 hours, 4 hours from the hotel zone, the main tourist area in Cancun. Either by car or with an agency. Most people hire these tours with an agency. They pick you up in the morning at the hotel, but the place is far, so it will take you 4 hours to arrive. Usually, these tours make some stops in souvenir shops, stop for lunch. Of course, no one can stand on foot there all day. And when you get there, you stay for 2 hours. It's wonderful. You're gonna love it. It has the Kukulkan Pyramid, one of the most famous of all, the Temple of the Thousand Columns, the observatory. There's the stadium where the ball games was held in the past. It's a very pleasant experience. There's always a guide who will show and tell you the whole story, so this is very cool. Most guides speak Spanish or English, but some even talk in Portuguese. This tour through Chichen Itza lasts 2 hours through the park of Chichen Itza. You can't go up the pyramid. A lot of people think you can go up there and you can't. In the past it was allowed for a time, it was liberated, but it's forbidden and you cannot go up. And the cool thing is that usually on this tour, when you do it with an agency, it also includes a stop afterwards, one of the cenotes. The cenotes are beautiful places. It ends up being another must-see place. It's already embedded in that first tour and this tip. So it's a really cool place. It's like a cave for you to understand. It's open, so sunlight comes in and there's natural water, but it's very tasty. It's a little bit cold, but it's colored water that we've never seen before. It was very different from everything we have ever seen. It's worthwhile experience, so you stop by, you can go in there and dive. If you go by car on your own, you just have to do your research, and remember, you always have to buy tickets, both to enter Chichen Itza and the cenotes. The average cost of a trip to Chichen Itza ends up being $90. We rounded it up to the quotation of the day. It comes with everything included: transportation, lunch, drink water, Coca-Cola. There's always cool things like that. Entrance to the cenote is also included. They pick you up at the hotel in the morning and return at night. A detail of this tour is you stay the whole day. So for those who book resort hotels there with all-inclusive and want to enjoy the hotel, you end up missing a day to do this tour. This is one of the drawbacks of this tour because you will return to the hotel around 9 at night as it's far. Guys, I'll explain here how to go on your own because you can go on your own. A lot of people rent the car and like to go and venture out, and many people also rent with the agencies. We recommend and find it much easier with the agencies. I'll even leave the link here in the video description. I'll leave several links that I'll quote here during the video. I'll leave everything listed here in the description, but one of them is from an agency that we use it on our last trips. We think it's amazing. They provide all the support and are highly regarded there in Cancun. They end up doing all this tour. The price is excellent. The service was in our language. They helped us organize our entire trip to Cancun and are very good. So the values I'm going to talk about here are more or less their average and the market average. One nice thing about them is that they do everything by WhatsApp. You enter this link and leave your name, email and date. They send you a message through WhatsApp, help you plan everything and take all your doubts. And now the second place that we think is a must in Cancun is the Xcaret. It's very cool. It's an amazing archaeological park. It's a beautiful place, even for you to see a nature different from everything you have seen. There are several artificial lakes, there are caves, there are rivers inside the cave, so you can dive. You have a lot of snorkeling, you can see alligators, you can see dolphins and sharks, you have everything. So it's a wonderful place that's worth visiting, and if you want to go on your own, it's not that far. It's much closer to the hotel area. You just have to buy the ticket to enter. If you want to go with the tour, it usually costs around $160 for the entire time with an agency. It starts in the morning and goes until the end of the day. Almost at night you return to the hotel. And what is included in this tour? There's a lunch meal, a bag with a lock for who will dive and leave their things, lockers without lines because there are huge lines to keep. You already have access to put your items in the safe, a snorkel and a vest to dive. Each person has activities already included and access to the 3 rivers and beaches that are exclusive. It has a beach bed, a hammock, and in short, it's a complete package for you to enjoy everything without having to worry about anything. Just the personal dolphin swim is not included. This is more expensive if you want to buy it separately, but we'll give you another tip here from another place that is nice for you to swim with dolphins. That is not gonna be as expensive and it's going to be easier for you. People, prices can change. Let's talk about an average we pay, how much it is more or less today, but it varies a lot from item to item. What we are going to put on the tour or not, the $2, so it's just an average for you to be aware. The third tour that you cannot miss, of course it will be included here, is swimming with dolphins at Dolphin Discovery, another very nice place, and the tour to Isla Mujeres. These two are included in a tour. If you are purchasing through an agency, it's only one day. If you are going on your own account, it is separate. So let's give these 2 tips there as it's for the third tour. It's a fantastic tour, we love it. In the morning you will take a boat or yacht there, a catamaran. In 30 minutes you reach Isla Mujeres. It's a very nice island. You can enjoy the island there and the beaches are scattered around so that you can rest. There's a restaurant there for you to have lunch. Lunch is already included if you buy it with the agency. If you are not buying them, you're on your own. There is also a very nice golf cart for you to rent. We rent and love it because the island is huge, and for you to explore it you rent this cart. It's cheap. You negotiate there on the spot with the landlord and then you drive it. It's really cool. It was a very different experience, and after spending all day and all morning you will swim with the dolphins at Dolphin Discovery in the afternoon. They take you on tour there, which is close to Isla Mujeres. It is really cool. You can swim. There's the option price for swimming, but it's a very nice swim. The boat to Isla Mujeres, the lunch at Isla Mujeres, and swimming with dolphins, all these transportations there made by boat end up being an average of $120. So we think it pays off a lot. The photos are not included. Get ready because they are expensive. We swam with the dolphins the first time we went because we were there longer, and the photos of the dolphins we spent money at the time. We ended up spending it. I think it was $62 for the photo with the dolphin. We didn't want to miss this moment. It ended up being worth it because we have recorded it until today, but it's costly, and they only say that afterward. You take a lot of pictures and then go to a room, they show you all the options and try to sell the photo to you. They start by throwing the price high up there, so this is a tip, try to negotiate because they negotiate. Sometimes even less than half the first price. Then say, no, it's too expensive, I don't want to. They can lower it. Even if you say that you're leaving, they can go after you and make you another proposal. So they lowered a lot, so you can negotiate and get the photo as souvenir. Guys, any doubts you might have, send me a message on social networks. I'll be glad to help you. Follow us there. We are always traveling, giving travel tips in a very cool way, and our family routine with our little one is awesome. So you can send any questions, even the silliest ones. We will be help you with the greatest pleasure in the world. And the fourth tour that you definitely cannot forget on your trip to Cancun is the tour to Cozumel. It's a very beautiful island, it's one of the most beautiful places to dive in the world. There was a year that I do not remember which, it was nominated for the #1 spot. It's always at the top of the charts. People who enjoy diving, even those more professional divers, to the guys who dive with snorkels. It's one of the most amazing places in the world, so going there is very worthwhile. Usually the agencies end up including Playa Mia too if you want. It's nice on their part to include it. Playa Mia is a very nice beach and that has a super cool water park for you to enjoy the rest of the afternoon, so take this tour because it's really cool. They pick you up at the hotel, at least that was our experience. If you're not on your own and close with the agency, we think it's easier. You go with them, they pick you up at the hotel and take you to the port, you take a boat and go to the island. It's nice that on this route you can stop at 2 reef phones. Wait, is that reef phones that they call? Water reefs? Take it easy, my mistake. They take you to 2 reefs. I'm confused here. It's as if they were a center there with many corals and reefs. It's a proper place to dive. So the 2 reefs that they end up stopping with are usually Colombia and Palancar, which are beautiful. It's a very nice experience. They give you the snorkels, the best for you to float around, so everything is already included. You can dive in these 2 reefs and then you go to Playa Mia, which is also very beautiful and which is located in Cozumel, which is also a great place to enjoy during the day. This tour costs on average about $120, but it's a very beautiful tour. We think it's really worth it. Hey guys, a tip here. As we do a lot of sightseeing in Cancun, we leave the hotel a lot and stay a lot on the street. The use of cell phones is important. We ended up using it a lot. It was very good, especially for the times we need to contact someone. Sometimes the guide of the agency asks for an Uber, a taxi, and in the most distant places to locate yourself, it's very important. So buy an international prepaid chip. There are some that have a very good price, so you can use your internet with peace of mind throughout your entire trip and not have unforeseen circumstances. We made this mistake the first time and we will never make it again. Buy it. Our tip is to buy it in your country. It's much cheaper and you receive it at home. You get on the website, buy quickly, put the chip in your cell phone when you get there. When you get off the plane in Cancun, you already have it running and you can use it at will to do whatever you need, because using international roaming there is the worst choice of all. For God's sake, don't do it. The final bill will be a fortune. The chip ends up being 1,000 times cheaper, so I'll leave the link of the chip we used on our last 12 trips below in the video description. We only use them because they are very good, the signal works everywhere. We have been in Cancun and their service is amazing. It's a quality services, so you can buy it because they are very good. I'll leave it down here. They deliver very fast. In at least 3 to 4 days it arrived for us, and I can tell you they are very good. And the 5th must-see tour, which we are going to split in 2 because there are 2 types of people for this one. If you like lively places and if you like party clubs, I can say to you that Coco Bongo is one of the most famous nightclubs in the world. Even for those who don't enjoy clubs so much, it's a show, a mix of shows and musical shows with songs. It's very cool. There is a recreation of the films, the songs, the singers and bands there for the 70s, and even today they make several musicals. It's very cool. And then it ends up becoming a night show, so it's really cool. It's a tour that you have to do. Coco Bongo is famous because of the mask, for those who watch the film of The Mask. In the very cool scene that he dances, that plays in the movie, is the Coco Bongo. There's a statue of the character for everyone to remember and take pictures. There are several masks walking down the street trying to get a tip from you so you can take a photo with them. So it's a different tour. Our tip is buy in advance. If you go and buy on time, you can even do it, but the line is huge. We saw the line, it was very long when you bought before. This agency that we recommend that sells all tours and tickets, I'll also leave the link below in the description. They also sell this tour, they call it a tour, but it's the whole combo. The tickets for you to enter the club, then you don't take the line, so you have a special access, you will see that gigantic line, you have a special place. If you want it, it costs $90 for you to go on the track with all the access benefits. It's open bar from 10 p.m. until 3:30 a.m. with good drinks. We liked it a lot. But if you want a more premium service, you have the gold option that costs $150 instead of $90. Instead of standing in line, you are in a more reserved area. We have chairs and you can sit down. But you have to book early because there are only 150 chairs. So if you want it, book early and guarantee your spot, because this night will be a very special night. You have this experience that Mexicans offer. But the other tip is for those who don't like clubbing at all and don't want to go out at night. As a fifth tour tip, we left Tulum. It's a very nice place. In our opinion, we prefer Chichen Itza much more because they are similar. In Tulum are the Mayan hills too. They are more spread out and closer to Cancun. This is a positive point. It's 2 hours away. You can go in a quiet car or a tour with an agency. So we don't like Tulum as much as Chichen Itza. It's a nice tour if you have a day left, but if you have to prioritize, we recommend the others we mentioned before. But it's also a very beautiful place and it's very tasteful, you know. We'll even show you here to observe more or less how it is and for you to see if you like it. But in our opinion, it was not one of the best tours. It was a great one, but we put all the others we mentioned on front because they were a lot better. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, press on the thumb for a like and subscribe to our channel. That really helps us, people. And leave your comment if you liked it or not. If we missed any tips, if you have any tips to give, comment and share. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. There's a video on how to save a lot on your trip to Cancun. We did a step-by-step for you to set up your entire trip from the beginning to end and saving a lot on everything. Your trip will be much cheaper and you have all the tips to plan your complete trip. It's amazing. I'm going to leave here next to me the playlist that has all other videos from Cancun, and I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a nice trip.